Hello, this is Andrew Van Buzikum from Hydro Engineering, and this is the Broadcaster 2 radio control package for main and booster pump stations. We're going to run through a quick tutorial here today. Setup just requires that the control zinc box be powered up and the broadcaster panel. So the main menu, you're going to have baseline engine RPM, in and out pressures as reading by the pressure transducers located on the centrifugal pump, several preset engine RPM options available, as well as a few engine vitals such as oil temp, water temp, and pressure. Through the menu, you can navigate to several different options which allows you to customize parameters for your particular system, of which you can program channels. You can set your maximum and minimum pressure discharge parameters, which is used in the event of a blowout and a pressure loss. It returns the engines to an idle to prevent a massive spill. On the F3 button, you have max engine RPMs idle, as well as a ramp up based on your preferences of how fast you bring the engine up to pumping speed. And then on the last option, there are several output options, which are digital outputs set for electric knife valves or gate valves if there are any equipped on your system. This one does not have any in particular, but it is an available option as standard on all these. And that is the basic setup and navigation through the SonovaWorks Broadcaster 2 panel. Broadcaster 2 has a few key advantages when it comes to the radio control network. It's managed on the cloud when the cell sat function is used, which means that it's independent, it's available always, it's not reliant on an individual server that one could fail. The radio communication also gives you about a 2-mile range, which for most customers does a very good job considering that cell and satellite can fluctuate wildly out in the remote areas that we do our business.
I'm Nate Zimmerman. I'm an engineer at Hydro Engineering. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Broadcaster 2 remote control. This remote control system will allow you to see all the parameters of your engine, such as the RPM, the oil pressure, and the engine temperature, along with the pressure in and out of your pump. So once you've connected to your pump, without the pump running, you'll be able to see the engine temperature and the oil pressure. From there, you'll be able to start the engine just pushing the start button. If your clutch is engaged, you'll be able to operate the pump right then. Otherwise, you may need to engage your clutch. The pumping station will warn you with a beacon and an audible tone that it's going to start. And now our engine is actually started, and you can see our engine RPMs and our oil pressure have come up on the screen. And I can actually change those remotely from the cab here by setting the RPM, clicking OK, and the engine will ramp up to 1050. If I was actually in a pumping situation right now, I'd see my pressures climb with the increase in the RPM. In case of an emergency, the booster pump control system will allow you to push stop an individual engine, all stop, so stop all of the pumps, or start and stop and idle an individual pump. So in this particular case, I'll push all idle, and it'll bring all the pumps down to idle. And that's in case if I had a blowout or needed to stop for some other reason, I can just bring everything back down to idle. If you've got multiple pumps in line, you can actually set up the booster pumps to be controlled based on their max inlet and outlet pressures, and it'll actually cruise control. So all I have to do is control the main pump, and it'll in turn control the booster pumps and keep them within the pressure range that I've specified. I'm Nate Zimmerman with the Broadcaster 2 remote control.